theater where 9 people were shot and killed inside the Mother Emanuel Church. We all remember that day back in 2015. And every day in our country, over 100 people die from gun violence. You all have plans, I know, on this stage to address the gun crisis, but
That's
Congress has not been able to pass a major gun legislation in a quarter of a century. And just think about this. In those 25 years, we've had Columbine, Newtown, Parkland, Las Vegas. We could go on and on. Vice President Biden, I want to start with you. Why should anyone have faith that you're the one who can get this done now?
Because I'm the only one that ever got it done nationally. I beat the NRA twice. I got it.
The NRA is not the group to beat, okay? The NRA is a compromising organization, okay? It gives too many compromises to the legislators, to the government. They're not the group to beat. They're not, there's other groups out there that are no compromise on the Second Amendment, that are no compromise on your rights to keep and bear arms. NRA ain't it.
And I got magazines that could not hold more than 10 rounds in them. I got them eliminated, except we had a thing called an election with hanging chads in Florida, and it was not reauthorized. In addition to that, I passed the Brady bill with waiting periods. I led that fight. But
waiting periods do not prevent crimes. It has not been shown to prevent crimes. Neither had the assault weapons bill that back in '94. Okay, they did a study, and it found that there was no elimination in gun violence. It didn't do anything. It did very little to nothing to change that dynamic. Okay, there was still the same amount of gun violence, all this other shit. As a matter of fact, there was already a downward trend in gun violence before the bill was passed, and the downward trend was already in accordance to what was already happening. It didn't increase because of the assault weapons ban. That's BS. Okay, waiting periods could also, it's not going to prevent someone from wanting to kill somebody. If they want to purchase a firearm in the means for the purpose of killing someone, they're not. 10 days is not going to cut it. They're not going to change their mind in 10 days, in all likelihood. Okay. As a matter of fact, someone whose life has been threatened by somebody and they feel like they want to go purchase a firearm to defend themselves against that threat will more likely die because they had to wait that waiting period. They couldn't legally purchase that firearm with which to defend themselves. So now the person is attacking them and killing them, and it's too late. So straight up BS, man.
Right, and others have in fact also given to the gun manufacturers absolute immunity. Imagine if I stood here.
Absolute immunity. Okay. Now, absolute immunity. They don't get absolute immunity. Okay, but let's stick to the most important part. What they want is for people to be able to sue the gun manufacturer for someone else deciding to pick up a gun that the manufacturer created to kill someone else. It's not the gun manufacturer's responsibility to kill. It's not, if someone kills somebody with that manufactured firearm, you can't hold them responsible. It's like if a knife manufacturer, we're going to sue the knife manufacturer every time somebody kills somebody with a knife? Might as well. Where do we stop? This is what you call a slippery slope. That's some bullshit. Okay, you should not be able to sue a gun manufacturer if somebody decides to pick up a gun and kill people with it. Okay, you just can't do that. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. But that's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to get done, so they can get the manufacturer to stop manufacturing guns, so that it won't be available to the people. That's the point behind all this. So, BS.
Immunity to drug companies. We give immunity to tobacco companies.
Now, tobacco companies. See, it's different with tobacco, right? Because there are hundreds of thousands of tobacco-related deaths in this country every year, whereas with firearms, it's about 40,000. over 60% of which is suicide. So, medical malpractice kills more people than firearms. And mass shootings is 1%, less than 1% of the deaths in this country. I mean, come on, man.
It's caused carnage on our streets. 150 million people have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt.
Wait a minute. How many people were killed? 150 million people. 150 million people were killed in this country since 2007. Word? Let's go through the numbers here. 40 deaths. 40,000 deaths a year attributed to firearms. If you want to let's keep the suicide in there. 40,000 deaths from the use of firearms, including suicide, okay? And then accidents, which are about 2,000 or something like that. 40,000. So 2007 to now, that's about 13 years. You go through that, you do the math. I don't think that adds up to $150 million. $150 million. I don't think that adds up to 150 million people. How many people y'all think that add up to? About almost 600,000. So since 2007, there's actually been maybe 600, maybe 500,000 deaths related to firearms. Not gun deaths, but deaths that were caused where firearms were used. Okay? And that's what we're talking about here. You see that shit? That's what they put out to the public. The public is seeing this. So now people are thinking that there are 150 million deaths that could be attributed to the use of firearms since 2007 in this country. Now, and he's saying, and he mentioned that because that's when they said that the gun manufacturers will get immunity from violent deaths with the use of firearms, like one person killing another person with the firearm. You damn sure can't blame a gun manufacturer for someone shooting himself with it on purpose, commit suicide. Now, he says, you're saying that there's been 150 million deaths since 2007 because you can't sue the gun manufacturer? So you're saying that murderers said, you know what? No one can sue the gun manufacturer if I kill this person with it. You know what? I think I'm going to kill about 2 or 3 times more people than I would if we could sue the gun manufacturer. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. This fucking idiot. 150 million people? Come on.
Fracture some liability. More than all the wars.
More than all the
including
wars?
Vietnam, from that point on.
Including
carnage
Vietnam.
on our street. And I want to tell you, if I'm elected and I'm coming for you and gun manufacturers, I'm going to take...
Who you coming after? The NRA? The NRA? Somebody send this guy to speech therapy.
I'm the only one who's done it.
Yes,
that's why we've got to
being
change what
able to
Washington
dig
can
in
deliver.
and talk about what really it's going to take to get something done. I've been in the Senate when I've seen gun safety legislation introduced, get a majority, and then doesn't pass because of the filibuster. Understand this, the filibuster is giving a veto to the gun industry. It gives a veto to the oil industry. It's going to give a veto on immigration until we're willing to dig in and...
Now, she's talking about the filibuster, okay? They want to get rid of the filibuster. Well, if those who don't know what a filibuster is, that's when, like, you have so much, so the shit goes to the Senate, right? These bills go to the Senate. First, it's introduced in the House, boom, passed through the House, then it goes to the Senate. And they talk about the bills, okay, before they do a vote. Now, the bill dies on the floor at a certain time, okay? And if the opposing team, the opposing group or the opposing party who doesn't want the bill to pass is in the minority, or if they just want to kill a bill rather than a minority or a majority, they'll talk. They'll talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk until the deadline passes and the bill dies on the floor. That's what a filibuster is. So it's a tactic they use to kill a bill without the vote, because if they get the vote, then the bill will get passed, or the bill won't get passed. It depends on what you want. If you want the bill to pass, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want the bill to pass, you filibuster. You talk your ass off. Everybody's falling asleep. You know what I'm saying? And you can't stop the person from talking. There's no time limit. So it's a strategy they use to kill a bill. Okay? The bill dies on the floor. All right? And that they want to kill the filibuster so they can pass gun laws. All right? They want to pass gun laws. They want to kill the filibuster so it goes straight to a vote, majority vote, boom. It's a wrap. It's a done data. It's in. But the filibuster, they use it too. They use it for shit they don't want to pass. So it's bullshit. All right? They don't like to jump through hoops to control you even more, right? They don't want to have to gain the favor. They don't care about none of that. This is all a dog and pony show anyway. The filibuster, all these debates, all this shit they're doing right now is just to keep us entertained, to keep us distracted, to give us the illusion that these people are actually trying to fight for us, and the opposing group is stopping us from passing common sense laws that will help keep people safe. No. It's all a game, all right? It's all a game.
That if Mitch McConnell is going to do to the next Democratic president what he did to President Obama, and that is try to block every single thing he does, that we are willing to roll back the filibuster, go with a majority vote, and do what needs to be done for the American
Okay,
people.
Senator, we're going to stay on this topic and allow senators.
Mitch McConnell.
Understand this. Many people on this stage do not support rolling back
Senator.
the filibuster.
Thank you.
Until we're ready to
Senator.
do that, we can't.
Senator, I want to
make
allow
real
Senator
change.
Sanders to respond.
They don't want to roll back the filibuster because they use it too. Both sides use the filibuster to kill bills. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a tool that both parties can use. It's not just the party. It's not just the tool for one party. Both parties can use that tool.
And after the insurance industry, you've taken on pharmaceutical companies and you've taken on big tech. Why did you vote repeatedly to give gun manufacturers a pass?
Well, you know, Joe has voted for terrible trade agreements. No.
Wait, word. You hear that? Why did you vote to give the gun manufacturers a pass? Deflection like a big dog, man. Because he knows that you can't blame the soap manufacturer for someone using the soap, the glycerin in the soap, to make napalm. You understand what I'm saying? You can't do that. It's retarded. You can't, like, you gonna blame the brick manufacturer if I pick up a brick and smash up somebody's head on purpose? No. You sue them when it's a faulty product that you're trying to use for the purpose that it needs to be used for, and it does something to cause harm to somebody. That's when you sue them. It's not a full outright immunity. It's just immunity from people who commit murder with the shit. You understand what I'm saying? They want to hold the gun manufacturer liable for that shit. Then you have to go every manufacturer of everything that you can use to kill somebody with. A slippery slope.
Joe voted for the war in Iraq. My point was, not to be,
War in Iraq.
I have cast thousands of votes, including bad votes. That was a bad vote. I have today a D- voting record from the NRA. 30 years ago.
Let me tell y'all something. D- from the NRA. So what? I mean, he's trying to say that he is highly out of favor with the NRA. But the NRA ain't shit, man. You want to go with a no compromise group, go with the GOA or find a state group. okay? A group in particular states that don't play no games with the Second Amendment. They don't play no games. No background checks, no nothing. No waiting periods, no registry, no assault weapons bans, no magazine bans, none of that shit. No compromise, okay?
I likely lost a race for the one seat for Congress in Vermont because 30 years ago I supported a ban on assault weapons. 30 years ago. Right now, my view is we need to expand background checks, end the gun show loophole, and do what the American people want, not what the NRA.
Okay. Where did he get that from? That's what the American people want? You know, I remember that fool, Beto O'Rourke, said he went to a gun show. And everybody was coming up to him saying, oh, I shouldn't be here selling guns like this. You're right. I want to give up my rights to keep and bear arms. Oh, I do want the assault. No, motherfucker. Nobody at a gun show is telling you that. They're full of shit. Listen, the people do not want all these bans. They don't. It's lies, man. It's lies. These are lies. If you really look at the numbers, people show up in force to support the right to keep and bear arms, man. You see what I'm saying? They say 95% want background checks. That's a bold-faced lie. The only way a background check is going to work is if you create a registry. And what is a registry for? Confiscation. Okay? Point blank and period.
That's
Senator,
what I
here's
did.
one thing.
The opposition to the filibuster is
time
not
out.
a discretion from a long
I think
time
you
ago.
recognize me. Thank you. I have a 6 million person organization around this country, Moms to Men Action in every town. We have put background checks. We've got background checks in 20 states. So you can do it. It's Congress that can't.
See, there goes Bloomberg, right? He just told you what his groups are that he pays for with his billions of dollars, with his tens of billions of dollars. I think it's $62 billion that he pays to every town for gun safety and Moms Demands Action. And they go around from state to state getting legislators to implement these gun laws, like the background checks, like he said, in 20 states. This guy right here, my nigga, he's a problem, okay? But he's not really interested in becoming president. No, he's doing a great job right now, going around from state to state implementing these gun laws. So, yeah, not really going to do anything. Criminals don't go through background checks. Criminals don't go through background checks to get firearms. You can go out, I can go on the street right now and get an illegal firearm without a background check. Are you kidding me? But they want you, the law-abiding citizen, to go out and do a background check. In the meantime, somebody's plotting on taking your shit, running up in your house. Lord it be.
I don't know why we think they're going to do it. The vice president voted for a death bill and supported the NRA, and certainly some of the Sanderses supported the NRA. But we can do this. We just got to stop talking about it.
But the way
They want
we do
both
it,
ways.
the way we do it is having someone leading the ticket from a part of the country that we actually need the votes. So I have long supported the assault weapon ban. I am the author of the bill to close the boyfriend loophole that says that domestic abusers can't go out and get an AK-47.
I
That
wrote that
bill,
law.
along with, you didn't write that bill.
Now, this is Amy Klobuchar, okay? She's from the Midwest, and she feels like she has the ear and the support of Republicans. She's going to get the Republicans to support, gun control laws, okay? So look out for that. Amy Klobuchar is bragging about how she got Republicans to pass Democratic type laws, including gun control bills. So, you got to look out for that. You're talking about Republican, Democrat, same shit. You know what I'm saying? They're all working toward the same thing. They're telling you what they're doing right now. They're giving you the gameplay right now. They're giving you the playbook. Here it is. It's open. It's open for you to see.
wrote the bill, the Violence Against Women Act, that
Okay,
took
you did that.
out of the hands of people who abused
we'll
their...
have a fact check look
No,
at this.
let's look at the fact
my
check.
goodness.
The only thing that the boyfriend loophole was not covered. I couldn't get that covered. You, in fact, when you were as a senator, tried to get it covered, and Mitch McConnell is holding up on his desk right now, and we're going to lose the Violence Against Women Act across the board.
Okay, so if I could finish. I have the bill. Anyone can check it out to close the boyfriend loophole. Also, to close the Charleston loophole is another bill that's out there, universal background checks. But let me say how we win this. We've got to win in the middle of the country. And while everyone talks about winning rural areas, suburban areas, I'm the only one up here with the receipts that has actually repeatedly, while being for the assault weapon ban, won in Republican congressional districts over and over again,
that?
including Michelle Bachmann's district.
They
So
won
having
in the
someone
Republican
that can
districts.
lead the ticket, that can bring people with her, is the way you get gun safety legislation. I look at these
Senator
proposals
Klobuchar.
and say, do they hurt my Uncle
Time.
Dick in the deer stand? They do not.
There we
So
go.
coming
There we go. There we go with them acting like the Second Amendment is about hunting. There they go. See how they do it? Oh, we're not violating the Second Amendment. You can still go out and hunt with a pea shooter and a fucking 22 LR. Oh, you can still do that with the bolt action rifle. No, that's not what the Second Amendment is for. The Second Amendment is not for hunting. You understand what I'm saying? The Second Amendment was not implemented for hunting. All right? Stop your fucking lies. And your boy Pete Buttigieg, oh man, he really about to get it.
hunting state and still being able to
right.
pass this legislation
Senator Klobuchar,
is going to
thank
be
you.
the
We
key.
want to allow many people to get
So-
in on this topic. Mayor Buttigieg.
I'm definitely on board with the part about sending up somebody from the middle
Here
of the
he
country.
goes.
But I want to come back to this question about the filibuster, because this is not some long ago bad vote that Bernie Sanders took. This is a current bad position that Bernie Sanders holds. And we're in South Carolina. How are we going to deliver a revolution if you won't even support a rule change? We are in this state. We are in this state where Strom Thurmond used the filibuster to block civil rights legislation repeatedly. No less a Senate traditional figure than Harry Reid has called for it to go. It has got to go because otherwise Washington will not deliver. I was in high school when the Columbine shooting happened.
Here we go.
And I remember everybody in Washington saying, never again. We'll never let this happen again. And then a second school shooting generation has now been produced. Shame on us if we allow there to be a third. And also,
A second school shooting generation. See this? A second false flag generation. Oh, did I say that?
making the case, I think it
Time's
wouldn't
up,
be a
sir.
bad idea for somebody to illustrate from the perspective of a veteran why the kinds of weaponry, anything remotely like what I trained on in order to go serve in a war zone, has no business being sold anywhere near an American school or church.
And this is what I really hate about veterans who are Democrats, who are trying to toe the party line, who will say anything to please the party. Okay, you know, dog and pony show aside. Let's say this isn't a dog and pony show. Let's say that these people are really on opposite sides. Okay, of the issues. This fool just fixed his mouth to say that essentially that we have access to weapons that he used to train with to fight in war from a perspective of a veteran. I am a veteran, and I'm gonna tell you something, and I've said this before. When I was a vet, when I was in the military, when I started, we had the M16A2. Okay, then they phased that out slowly and we started using the M4. Now, let me tell you the significant difference between an M4 and an AR, and also the M16A2. So, the M16A2 is a rifle, right? It looks like an AR, except there's a key difference. There are two selections for the AR, okay? Safe and fire, okay? So with an AR that's available to civilians, you pull the trigger one time, the gun fires one bullet. One bullet per trigger pull. Okay? That's how that works. Now, with the M4, the military M4, there are 3 selections. Okay? Fire, semi-auto, 3-round burst, and safe. Okay? Semi-auto is the same thing as the only selection for AR. 1 trigger pull, 1 bullet fired. Okay? With 3-round burst, 1 trigger pull, 3 rounds fired. On safe, it's safe. You can't fire it. That is the difference between a weapon of war, which is not available to civilians. It's not legal. You cannot purchase a rifle with 3-round burst selection. Okay? You just can't do it. It's illegal. Okay? It's illegal. You can't. We don't have access to it. So what is he talking about? Weapons of war? No, motherfucker. A rock is a weapon of war. When your opponent or when the enemy, all they have are rocks, right? Because you're an invading nation and they don't have the means to defend themselves, because guess what? They didn't have the right to keep and bear arms, or the right for them to keep and bear arms. They couldn't exercise it because of the dictatorship that they were a part of, or because of the authoritarian government that ruled over them. But they used what they had. They had rocks. They made IEDs, right? Those are also weapons of war. A freaking vehicle can be a weapon of war if you're using it as a weapon during wartime. What's he talking about? Knives? Fucking axe? I mean, come on. Whatever you could use in close combat. Let's say you're in close combat. You're dry. You and the enemy are right here. Your hands can be a weapon of war because you're using your hands as a weapon during wartime. So you like to use these words and euphemisms to try to make it sound like something. Pete Buttigieg is a fucking liar. Okay? He's a liar. And he's lying to you about what a weapon of war is. He's trying to make you think that an AR, which is an Armalite rifle, he's trying to make it seem like an Armalite rifle is a weapon of war. It's not. It's a tool. You can use it for competition. You can use it for hunting. You can use it to defend yourself. And then if you had to go to war, or if the war came to you, you could use it for war. You understand what I'm saying? These are just the facts. These people are lying to you. And him being a veteran, he should know better than that. He knows he's lying to you, and that's what makes it even worse. Because he's not ignorant. He's just deciding to deceive the people. Oh, I'm a veteran, and this is a weapon of war. It's straight deceit. That makes him worse than any other candidate up there calling for gun control. Because he is the only vet, and he knows the fuck better. He knows better. Pete Buttigieg is a fucking liar. I don't care where he served. I don't care if he went on 8 tours. He comes back. He swore to defend the Constitution against every enemy, foreign and domestic, and he made himself an enemy, pushing those lies and calling for gun control, calling to infringe upon our rights to keep and bear arms. The motherfucker is deceitful. You understand what I'm saying? So you take that, put that in your fucking hat and put it on, motherfucker. Pete Buttigieg, you're a liar, and you should know better. Shame on you as a veteran who raised your right hand and swore to defend and protect the Constitution 2 different times. The first time when you joined, right, when you signed up for the Army, and the second time when you signed up to be a fucking mayor or whatever the fuck you doing now. And then you expect us to put your ass in the presidency where you're going to swear again, only to go back on your word, to go back on defending the people's rights? Push lies like these are weapons of war. They shouldn't have the weapons that we used in war we was training with. You didn't train with an AR, homie. You train with an M4, which has a 3-round burst selection. And if you don't think that's a significant difference, then obviously you don't know shit about a weapon that has a 3-round burst. Very effective. Very, very effective, very efficient, and very useful. Okay? It's not spray and pray like fully automatic. Back in Vietnam days, they knocked that off. After Vietnam, they found out we were shooting 1,000 rounds to kill one person. Oh, we were just spraying and praying? No, 3-round burst is a little bit more controlled. Way more efficient. Okay? It's more efficient than single-round burst for different applications, for different scenarios. In many ways, a single shot or a semi-automatic could be even more efficient. You know, with well aimed play shots. But the problem is with the M4 and the AR, you have these tiny rounds that it takes a lot of rounds to put the person down. Okay, one round can kill them, but it won't cause that much devastation. Like, it'll go right through your body, especially with the type of rounds that you're using the armor piercing rounds that puts nice neat holes through your flesh. Okay, so if you get shot in the shoulder, it'll go right through there. It won't put you down. But I'll digress. The point is, he knows better. He's a liar, and I'm calling his ass out. And any veteran if any veteran gets a hold of this and sees this, y'all should go ahead and put his ass on blast too. I want to see if Dan Crenshaw, who's a Republican and a veteran, Navy SEAL, if he gonna put his ass on blast. Let's see what happens with that. Anyway, let's keep going. Got me hot up.
All right, Senator Sanders, please.
30 years ago, he supported a ban on assault weapons. Mike Bloomberg has started a very good organization, Moms Demand Action. Congratulations. They have credited me with gun sense, as you.
Yes, we did.
Furthermore, it is my view that the time.
Look at these. Look how proudly they gloat about taking your rights away. About taking your rights away to keep and bear arms. Look how braggadocious they are about wanting to strip you of your rights. It's absolutely asinine, and we just sit up there and we cheer them on and we think they're so great. You know, I mean, I noticed they're not getting that much applause. They're in South Carolina, where they're strong on the Second Amendment for the most part. But let's keep going.
Joe made this point. Look, at the end of the day, we need to rally the American people. Here is the good news. Because of all...
You need to rally the American people? You need to rally the American people? I thought 90-something% of the people already wanted this shit. Why you need to rally them? See, what you saw in Virginia with those 22,000 people that came to protest those gun laws out there, see, they tried to make it seem like it was a white supremacist group. There are the 22,000 white supremacists. No, that's not true. There were black people there. There were Black Panthers there. There was Antifa there protesting these laws. Don't make them think that the only people that want their rights to keep and bear arms are white supremacists. That's not true. Those 22,000 people there in Virginia were a good mix of people. And they were peaceful. And they had they shit on them. And they said, look, man, it ain't cracking. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them lie to you, man. They need to rally the people. I thought you had the people.
Disgusting and horrific mass shootings, the American people now understand that we must be aggressive on gun safety, not be dictated to by the NRA. And I am proud.
You see how they try to make it like about the NRA? As if, see, they're trying to make it seem like the NRA is the problem, right? Oh, the NRA is stopping us from creating these infringement laws. But they're not going to. Why aren't they talking about the actual people that don't want it? That just people that show, like the people that showed up in Virginia. No, they want you to think it's just the NRA in the way. No, it's not just the NRA. They want you to be complacent. They want you to sit down there and just don't get complacent. If you're for the Second Amendment, if you're for our rights to keep and bear arms, why do I stay on this? Because this is the most important right that we have right now. This is the most important right. You understand? This right here to keep and bear arms is what's keeping us, what's helping us protect every other right that we have left that they haven't been able to sneak away from us. Okay? Anyway, I'm done with this guy. I'm done with these people. It's the same old shit. But I just wanted y'all to hear it. I want to give my perspective on it, my commentary. So anyway, holla at y'all later. Much love to y'all. Go check the rest of that out, and peace out.